Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unarmored Talk podcast. I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, and I got a special guest today. He was my company first sergeant right before I retired. If you watch some of the first YouTube videos, that's the first sergeant that was coming in my office trying to motivate me. Hey, some work. He's the one who came over my house on a Sunday and said, you know what, Sergeant Major, you just give me some food, right? Let me show you how to create a YouTube channel. We even named the YouTube channel 5'3" Assassin, and it came back saying y'all can't do that. And first sergeant looked at me and said, "Sergeant Major, you can't name it that, so you need to pick another name." First Sergeant Michael Landry, welcome to Unarmored Talk podcast.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you.
No, man. What else I didn't say, ladies and gentlemen, is he is the founder and CEO of One Light Clothing. He's got some other initiatives, and I'm a number one fan for his cologne. He developed it, he created it, and I've been buying it for over 2 years. It's called Success. It smells wonderful, and you guys see in the background some of his creativity. Mike, first sergeant of Marines, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Can you tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So, Mike Landry, coming from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Been in the Marine Corps for a little over 20 years right now. But we're going to get right into it. We're getting right into why everybody is here. Why are you really here?
Yeah, let's get right into it. It's Unarmored Talk podcast. You know, people look at you, right? Even when I was a sergeant major, I looked at you, you're about 6'10", 6'11".
Not just regular 6 foot.
But you just lean and mean, in shape, motivated, positive, very, very innovative. You would never think that he's been going blind for years. So let's jump into it. Tell us about how you can. I mean, I don't even know how what's the percentage of your vision is today.
It's crazy that you asked about what it is today. I don't even know. So what I can say is I'm regressing. So right now, just to start at the beginning.
Yeah.
2016, actually it was 2015. 2015, I ended up start going blind. When I say start going blind, I mean, I went from 20/20 vision, never wearing glasses, to every 3 months, I needed a new pair of glasses. Then it got down to every month. It came to the point where I needed glasses. The prescription could not be filled fast enough. My prescription was changing faster than they can create the actual lenses.
Wow.
So 2016, well, actually November of 2015, I got the paperwork from the hospital said I was completely legally blind 2015, November. I still worked all the way until March of 2016. By 2016, I was completely blind. When I say completely blind, I couldn't see anything. So it's funny how you say, I used to see you, but when I first arrived at Wounded Warrior, I didn't see anybody.
Wow.
All I seen was light. A lot of times people think that because you're blind, you only see darkness, which is incorrect. Blind people see light. That's the reason why we wear shades. Light hurts. That's how we can also determine where we're at in the room, how we're walking around, how you're moving, because shadows appear from bright lights.
Wow.
You can see a shadow.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's 2016, I get to Wounded Warrior. My mindset is pure depression. Without going into it, I made a promise to my mom when I was a recruit. My mom died when I was in boot camp, so I was a recruit. The promise I made to her, because in boot camp, the only thing you know is a sergeant major. That's the highest rank. I promised my mom as a recruit at her funeral, standing in front of her casket, that I was going to be a sergeant major. The moment I went blind, I was instantly depressed, not because I was blind, but because I felt as if I couldn't fulfill this promise that I made. As a horrible kid, just bad. What every parent did not want, that was me.
Right.
But that promise I made was bigger than everything else that I had, because that was the only thing I've ever promised my mom. So I had to do that promise. Going blind, I couldn't do it. Most people gave up on me. I even gave up on myself.
Yeah.
Pure depression. I was going through it. When I arrived at Balboa, I didn't stay inside of my room, but everywhere I walked around to, I was just angry. It was just pure anger. I hated everybody. I hated everything because I felt like a failure. And the only thing I've ever promised my mom was I was going to be a sergeant major. So I'm a gunnery sergeant at the time, and I'm not going to be able to fulfill this promise. I sat in my room at Balboa Hospital one day, um, and I was about to kill myself. It
Yeah.
got to the point where I was literally about to kill myself.
Wow.
Um, I had all the pills, and I was just going to take them. Um, what stopped me, which started my first business, was my brother. He called to complain because he wasn't having his music career wasn't going how he wanted it. It
And
was
so he had no idea that you had thought through suicide, and
nope.
and
I hadn't spoken to him in about 9 months.
isn't that something?
9 months didn't speak to him. While I was living in the hospital, because I lived there, I didn't have any like no friends came by, no family members called. I was even going through a divorce.
Man.
It was bad. Um, I had nothing to live for. I felt as if it was horrible. And this is the crazy part. This is the moment I decided I was going to commit to suicide. I was going to McDonald's. I refused to use a cane or wear the sunglasses because I didn't want the crutch. I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. Um, so I'm going to McDonald's, and I was always motivated. I'm always motivated. I always want to help people. I always want to be there for people because I know what it feels like to have no one there for you. So I always wanted to be there for people. I'm walking to McDonald's, and a colonel, lieutenant colonel, an officer walks past, and I didn't salute him. And that's his sergeant major chewed me out. Whoever he chewed me out. And one of the comments he made was, "What is wrong with you? Are you blind?"
Oh my goodness.
I was like, "Yeah, I am."
Yeah, you responded in an accurate way, and actually, I am.
Yeah. He didn't take that too kindly. He thought I was joking. He thought it was a game. He just kept going. After he got done, turned around, found my way back to the room. And that was the moment. That was the deciding factor right there. And as I'm looking at them, well, not really looking, but as I know these things or I'm grabbing them, my brother calls, I answer the phone. I instantly start my life entertainment music group because my brother needed me. This is the first time somebody I felt as if I was needed. So as a big brother, I needed to help my little brother. That's what stopped me from actually committing suicide
Yeah,
because he needed me.
so here you are, your mom passed away when pretty much, when you were 18 and earning the title of United States Marine. You have you make this promise, spiritual promise, right, to your mom that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be the best son that you have ever seen on this earth. Every life is great. And then 2015ish, right? 2015, 2016, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you lose your eyesight. And now you're at the point of, I have nothing else to live for. And brother calls out of nowhere to complain.
Nowhere.
To
I even told him, I said, "Hey man, you know you saved my life." And he doesn't understand or he doesn't grasp what I really mean when I say that. Even though I've explained it to him a few times, he still just doesn't. I guess he think I was joking, but I wasn't joking. I was about to end it right there because I felt as if one, I had let my mom down, and two, the one thing I was actually good at, I could no longer do, which was being a Marine.
yeah.
Um, so those things weighed upon me, and it, the sergeant major was the straw that broke the camel's back. Um, when he did what he did, he said what he said, and I failed to salute that that did something to me internally. And there was that moment I knew I just had nothing else here.
You know what, first saw now it just makes sense why you treated me the way you treated me. you,
The only get
you
back I can do.
I would have never ever known. And so now you make this choice, you make this change, right? Something happened, your brother calls, and now you got this entrepreneur spirit. You started the music industry. Talk to me about how did you think through all that depression and this and the suicide, ideation and attempt, if you will, through your thought process. Now you start to move in a different direction. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was crazy because I knew nothing about music.
I would have never
Yeah.
guessed.
Yeah, at the time I knew nothing about
That's why I
music.
love Unarmored Talk, because it's so authentic, and you learn something new about people you've been close. Like I've been close. That's why it's Unarmored.
Yeah. So I knew nothing about music. And right around after that phone call, my mindset changed because I felt needed. And things started to look up. My doctor gave me these things called hyperlens contacts. And for the first time, I was able to see again. I sat in that doctor's chair. I sat in the ophthalmologist's chair. And I cried. They said, "Hey, go outside. Tell me what all you can see." And it had been about a year since I had ever seen.
Wow.
So I had these hyperlens contacts. And as soon as she popped them in, I was able to see my doctor. I was like, "Oh man, this is crazy." I walk outside the hospital. I'm on the second floor. I look down, and I mean, I can see for miles. Vision was something I just hadn't seen. I didn't think I'd ever be back at that point. I look outside, and the first thing I look at is the grass from the second floor. I look down, and I can see the blades of grass as the wind is blowing. I can see the grass moving.
Wow.
Never felt that the happiness feeling. I had
Yeah.
never felt that ever before. Then I went back inside and they took them out, and I was depressed again. So, so they wasn't fitting for me.
And I'm just saying, you have me captivated. he said, and just listening to you is making me, tomorrow. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, this is a late episode. We're actually recording this. It's I think it's almost midnight here on the East Coast, and but it's late. So the reason why I say that, some context here, because when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm listening to you is going to remind me of the little things that we so often overlook. I can only talk about me, that I so often overlook. Here you are, motivated. What you can see, you haven't seen in about a year.
Yeah, whole year hadn't been able to see
You got to
anything.
go back in your barracks room and take them out.
No, I had to go back into the chair.
Oh,
Like straight, I was
okay.
on the second floor. They just put them in to hey, go outside and look. Walk outside.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Just give you a little taste to test them.
Yeah, and then the doctor was like, "Okay, we got to take them out." I was like, "Man, why? I can't just keep these." And ultimately, they had to fit them to my eyes. So once it took about another 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
they were completely custom and fitted just for my eyes. At that moment, I was needed. My motivation level shot through the roof. I'm walking around Balboa. I'm speaking to everybody. I need everyone to understand. I can see. I see you. I'm calling out ranks. It's you don't call out ranks anymore. I'm calling out ranks because I'm just so excited I can see. I want to teach classes, and then a position opened up on Pendleton, and I'm raising my hand. Put me in the game again, coach. I'm back. I can see. Put me in the game. They put me in the game. Sergeant Major Simmons requested me to come from Balboa down to Pendleton to take over a position. In my eyes, in my new eyes, I was like, I'm back. I get down to Pendleton, and Marines are, "Hey, gunner, hurrah!" And the motivation is just back. I'm super excited. Then they allow me to get an eye transplant. Now I got a whole new eye and it's blue. So I'm running around with a brown eye and a blue eye with 24 stitches in it. And all I can think about is, I'm back in the game. I can fulfill this promise. All I want to do is help everybody. I want to help everybody. I want everyone to see that I can see what they're going through. I no longer just feel what you're going through. I can see what you're going through. And I need you to understand what it feels like to be at the bottom and no one see you. I want you to see that I see you. And I made it a purpose to be loud, to smile, to laugh. I wanted everyone around that was going through the depression, because I had been there and I was still struggling with it, because ultimately I'm gonna go blind again. The transplants that I received,
Yeah.
they're gonna fail. Which I think is kind of happening now.
Yeah.
Not really sure. But the vision is going in the opposite direction. But until it's gone, I want everyone to know that I see you. And I'm going to give you everything I got inside of me, so you don't feel what I felt after that Sergeant Major called me. And I couldn't salute, and the Sergeant Major was like, "Are you blind or what?" So I made it a purpose.
This is probably one of the toughest episodes for me emotionally, because because I'm learning so much about you, and it's just amazing how your choices, and not you choosing to live your life regardless of your challenges and not emotionally responding anymore. It's just amazing. And all this time you were my company first sergeant, and I've always knew you had something special about you, because it didn't matter what it was. I mean, the whole building could have blew up and you were still smiling. And then you joke at the humor too. I'd be like, "Well, first sergeant, did you see the building blow up?" And you'd be like, "Sorry, Major." Just the humor. But I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, this is not the end of the interview, but I just have to say it, man. You just inspired the heck out of me. And I really, really, truly appreciate you removing your armor to share this with the world, because this is just, I mean, amazing. So
there's other people that's going through something.
Yeah.
And they have this perception that nobody sees them. Especially being over at Wounded Warrior, it's a lot of depression going on around there, because people are feeling that they're at the end of the ropes.
Right.
If you see me, it is for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, however long I'm in your presence. I want you to understand that somebody cares, and somebody loves you enough to give you everything they got. However long that is, I want you to feel and to have everything I got, because I don't want anyone to feel what it's like to be completely alone in the dark.
Well, you definitely did it for me. My YouTube channel has grown to about, and I remember when you were so close to the screen, and you said, "I could barely see Sergeant Major, but we're going to make it happen." And now we're over 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Reflecting back, First Sergeant, on, from 2015 up until today, reflecting back, and you've given a lot of great advice, but if you could pick one thing to leave the listeners and viewers, what would it be?
Give whatever you got to the people that's around you. You have no idea what they're going through. No one knows what you're going through. We always say, "Hey, treat people like you want to be treated," but that's false. No one genuinely treats someone like they want to be treated. There's kind of like a false narrative at times for that. So what I would say is, you treat somebody better than how you want to be treated. You give them everything you got, because you have no idea when they're gonna expire their own clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, you guys heard it from the founder and CEO of One Life Clothing, and First Sergeant United States Marines, over 20 years of serving, still on active duty. Still on active duty. And you heard what he said. Don't use the cliche, treat people how you want to be treated. Get rid of that belief. Develop a new belief and a new thought process. Treat people better than you would like to be treated. Mike, First Sergeant of Marines, my friend, the one who allowed me to be where I'm at today in the digital space. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for blessing Unarmored Talk podcast.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Well, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Till next time. See you later.